Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Strong Talk with your host again, Coach John. Today, I've got a pretty banger topic for you: nutrition. Everybody knows all the best about it, all the best things to do, but it's really not that complex, and you're probably going about it all wrong. So let's get started. On your fitness journey, generally people either want to gain weight or lose weight. How do those things work? So to gain weight, you need to be in a calorie surplus, which is you're eating more calories than you need, so your body puts on mass. And to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit, which is you eat less than your body uses, so you lose mass. Pretty simple, right? Not really so simple. So you might think, okay, now with that information, what do I want to do? If you are very overweight, you need to be in a deficit. Plain and simple. You're putting yourself at risk. You're going to eat yourself to death. You need to get on that shit right now. Put yourself in a deficit. So you might think, how do I create a deficit? Well, you have to actually a method that I like to use and I use for my clients who are a little heavier is I tell them, take pictures of your food. And everybody likes to put their food on Instagram. Yeah, well, this has an actual function. So you're gonna take a picture with your hand next to it so you get an idea. So when you look back with the scale, I get them to actually send the pictures to me so that I know. But yeah, so you get an idea of what you've been eating, because I'm pretty sure if you think about what you ate yesterday, you have no clue. Whether you ate Cheerios for breakfast or Nutty Flakes and honey, or if you slammed down some KFC, you have no idea. You have no idea. Most people can't remember what they ate yesterday. So with that in mind, you want to take pictures of this and then you'll have a recording of it. And you'll also bring it, that kind of autopilot, to the forefront of your mind. You look at your food and think, should I be eating this? Answer is probably no, because if you're fairly large, you've probably been eating that way for quite some time and your habits are kind of catching up with you. Another way to create a deficit is start moving around more. If you work from home, it's very easy to just sit on your ass and do nothing, get fat, and work from home in your underwear. Don't put on any clothes, you're just being a fat slob at home, clicking away. Anyways, but yeah, go for a walk. If you don't live in an area where that's like a feasible option, get a gym membership. Go and just walk on the treadmill, hop on a bike, anything like that. All those things help. It helps with your health and it'll help you create a deficit. So I'm a big fan of not really tracking your outgoing calories. You'll see people that actually have a smartwatch. People with their Apple Watch, man, I burned 2,000 calories in that workout. You're being lied to. Fitness trackers are wildly, for the third time, wildly inaccurate. It is very hard to track outgoing calories. A much better way is to track the incoming calories. So in that way, you control the intake, and that way you can pretty much ensure your outcome. But that again, setting up a fat loss phase and all that kind of thing, we'll talk about that in another episode. Now on the other side of the scale is people who are underweight. Skinny folks, guys that can't fill out a shirt, girls who can't fill out their jeans. You need to eat more food, and something that'll help is lift more weights. Actually, just backtracking just a little bit, something that also helps with increasing your metabolism, because I know that's a word that gets thrown around a lot, is actually lifting weights. So if you are overweight, you go to the gym, you walk for 10-20 minutes and you lift some weights, you'll increase your metabolism, and the food that you consume will now become closer to either maintenance or a deficit. So that's another way of doing it. But right back to my skinny folks, I got you. You need to eat more food, straight up. You just need to straight up eat more food. Eat more protein, and you need to lift some weights. If you're very skinny, it's because you have probably been that way your entire life. You probably don't really have a love of eating, and you probably also, much like the overweight folks, don't exercise much. And your genetics also lend to the fact that you're very skinny. So For my guys that can't fill out a shirt, prioritize the upper body. I'm not saying skip leg day. I am not saying skip leg day. I repeat, don't skip it. And for the ladies who can't fill out the jeans, prioritize your legs so you fill out the jeans. Again, I talked about exercise last episode. It's fairly specific to what you want, so you have to work like that. So now that's fat loss and weight gain and weight loss out of the way, you might think, okay, well, I'm in the overweight category. How do I lose fat? So you have to be in a calorie deficit. And you might think, okay, well, I just want to tone up. That idea of toning is basically just having a low enough body fat percentage that people can see your muscles. And for them to see your muscles, you have to have muscles. So weight training is very important. But coming back to the nutrition side of it, you have to be in a deficit for a fairly long time. And you'll see a lot of people say, okay, take diet breaks and this, that, and the other. I used to be a big proponent of diet breaks, not anymore, because it just means you have to diet longer. And it's very hard psychologically. So the length of the diet also weighs, again, that psychological burden of how long I have to diet. You probably should take a break after a couple months. Let's say you set small goals for yourself. So let's say, like myself, when I was overweight, I was 220 pounds. I went down to, my first milestone was 200. I was like, yay, 20 pounds down. I stayed at 200 for a month. I tried to maintain anywhere from 201 to 205 or between 195 and 205. It's a kind of fluctuate in between there. And then I said, okay, I'm in a good spot. Time to go down again. And I went from 200 down to 180. And I kind of stayed around in that 5 to 8 pound area, up or down. And then I went down again. And that's generally how you do it. You can't be in a rush. You can't be like abs in a week. No. You can't build a car in 5 minutes. You cannot do these things. You cannot, like if you go to school, you cannot learn all the information in 5 minutes. And if you've been fat your entire life, if you've been fat for years, you cannot expect to lose the fat in a week. So all these assholes on social media who are lying to you and doing dumb exercises like this and telling you, oh, you need to cut out all these weird things. No, a more moderate approach and something you can sustain long term is the right thing to do. Which actually leads me to my next point, common myths. The first one, carbs make you fat. They absolutely do not. Carbs don't make you fat, eating too much makes you fat. But there is, however, a little bit of validity to it. If you eat carbohydrates and fats together, they tend to have they're usually hyperpalatable things. So let's take a look at things that have carbs and fats almost exclusively. Donuts, potato chips, chocolate and candies, all these sorts of things. All of these things have carbs and fat together, and what are they? Hyperpalatable. They're very sweet or very salty, full of MSG, and they're just designed for you to consume more of it. So it's not that carbs make you fat, eating too much makes you fat. If you know you have a hard time controlling yourself with donuts, don't eat the fucking donuts. Don't buy the donuts. Don't go into Donut Boys. Don't set foot in Krispy Kreme. Cross the fucking street like Krispy Kreme's gonna rob you, gonna uproot itself from its superstructure on the ground and be like, bitch, come here, I'm gonna choke you and take your money. Run away from Krispy Kreme like it's a bandit. Another one. You have to do keto. I have to laugh. You have to do keto to lose weight. No. Any kind of elimination diet they all work the same. So paleo, keto, vegan, vegetarian, carnivore, pineapple diet, whatever other shit weird thing. I even see people eating clay pots as a diet. I pray for your teeth. But yeah, they all work with the same mechanic. They're creating a calorie deficit. So when you go on keto, it is majority of the calories you get are fat. You cut out almost all your carbs and you eat moderate protein. You're reducing calories by cutting out carbs. You've removed carbs, it's less calories. Vegetarian or veganism, you don't eat meat or animal products, there's a shit ton of calories gone. That's how you lose weight. Carnivore, same thing, you're only eating meat and meat products. That's none of the other shit. Deficit. They all work the exact same. What I will say is that whatever works for you, you do that. If keto works for you, great, do that. If being vegan works for you, great, do that. If nyamming meat whole day works for you, great, do that. Once it's aligned with your goals and you're getting the results you want, fine. But it has to be long term. The results have to be long-term sustainable results. That's how you gauge success. Not I lost 20 pounds and I put back on 30. Your boss real bad because you've overshot. When you regain the weight, you've gained more weight. Another very common myth is I'm not eating enough calories, so I'm not losing weight. Otherwise known as starvation mode. That just does not work. If you ever see a vagrant on the road, you ever ask him, "Ways boy, how you eating so much food and you so jacked?" No, that's just not how it works. Fat, actually, the function of fat in the body is excess energy stores. So that when you don't get food, your body breaks down the fat and uses it as energy. That's how fat loss actually works. So if you're not eating enough, and that's why you're not losing weight, you're just not in a deficit. You're lying to yourself. You might wake up in the middle of the night, sneak into your fridge when nobody's looking, not even the bipedal Krispy Kreme shop. He's already sleeping. He can't see you, but he does see what you bought there. And you slam 5 donuts into your face, and you take a big spoon, you go and you peanut butter, yum, yum, yum. 700 calories right there, and you're like, oh shit, well I ate what I was supposed to eat yesterday, but last night, with shame in your eyes, you consumed, which is a whole different problem. But guys, don't be crazy. Starvation mode does not exist. It just doesn't exist. Don't stop making shitty excuses for yourself. Stay on track, you get the results you want. It's pretty simple. So yeah, I think that'll wrap it up for today. Again, if you liked the video, if you found any kind of value from it, like the video. If you didn't like it, hit me in the comments. Let me know why. If there is something that you think that someone can benefit from, share it with them. I'll see you guys next time. Also, big shout out to production team and the studio that I rent, Last Man Standing Productions. You can hit them up on Instagram. You can also find me on Instagram, the same channel, Get Strong John. I'll see you guys next time.